Hi guys, it's Danica Christin. As you may or may not know, I used to live in Australia. I lived there for 3 years and I decided to make videos about what I do and what I don't miss about Australia. Now this video is about all the things that I don't miss about Australia. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe as I make new videos about traveling and living abroad every week. The first thing is definitely tall poppy syndrome. So let me explain to you what that is. Tall poppy syndrome basically means if you're living in Australia and you achieve any kind of success and you are kind of in danger, so to speak, of kind of growing beyond everyone else, then people will kind of try and bring you back down. There's a lot of negativity towards successful people. So if you're in Australia, don't ever talk about what you are achieving in life because people don't appreciate that. They make jokes about it, they laugh at you. It's happened to me, it's not very nice, and I don't understand why people in Australia just can't be more supportive. Number 2 is graduate salaries. So in Australia, graduates fresh from uni are usually not paid very well. You get roughly what you'd get working, let's say, as a waitress, but I have to say these unskilled jobs are really well paid in Australia. I worked as a waitress for 2 years and I was paid $20 an hour. Going to uni in Australia is, in many but not all cases, not really worth it because you can earn quite a bit of money if you are in an unskilled job and especially if you know a trade. Number 3 is having no heating inside the houses in winter, but in summer having a freezing cold aircon on everywhere. Australian houses are unfortunately not very well insulated, so it means in winter it gets really cold inside and you sit in your own living room with your winter coat on and you're just freezing cold. And then it comes to summer, finally it's getting warmer and you go outside and it's all beautiful, and then you go into your office and guess what? They've turned on the air condition, and I mean, a bit of aircon, I can really appreciate that and no problem, I love that too. But they turn the aircon so low, and this is almost a universal problem in Australia. I don't know why they do it, but they turn the aircon so cold that everybody's freezing and you need to put on so many extra layers once you go inside. Like honestly, like I had the feeling like some people were like, well, unless it's snowing in here, it's not cold enough yet. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous to have to wear a jumper inside during the summer months. You just end up being cold all year. Number 4, forced positivity. So in Australian culture, it's really not okay to talk about your problems, sometimes even with your friends, and talk about anything negative. You always have to be positive and smile a lot, which is all good and well. But I think it's not good if you don't have any person you can talk to about your problems. And it seems like that is something that is not really appreciated in Australia, which was very difficult for me in the beginning as I'm German, and that is kind of how you connect with people in Germany. And in Australia, it's just not a thing and you just have to be positive all the time. Number 5, as a foreigner, you're always going to be treated as a second-class person in Australia by immigration and by the job market. I'm not talking about, everyday people you meet on the street, in the shops, your friends. That's fine. But when it comes to, let's say, the more official side of the country, you are really a second-class person. That's how I felt anyways. Immigration is really tough on everyone. There is no exceptions. There is no, leeway or anything. It's just, this is how it works and you have to do that way, otherwise we're going to kick you out. It's like, whoa, okay, fine. Also on the job market, you're really at a disadvantage if you are not Australian. Like I had it happen to me that I went just into a cafe to get a job as a, waitress, and I handed over my resume, and at that time I already had 1 year of waitressing work experience in Australia, but the manager just looked at my resume and he was like, well, you have barely any Australian experience, like all your experience or whatever, from Europe, it's not worth anything. We want Australian experience. Like, I mean, he didn't say it that way, but that's what he meant. And I had a friend who lives in Auckland, New Zealand, and she had the same thing happen to her. She's a business professional and she had experience in her home country. She went to New Zealand and there the hiring managers were like, well, you don't have any Kiwi experience. And she's like, well, I'm a professional, like, why do I have to have Kiwi experience? Why is that so superior? That was really strange to me. Number 6. Big modern cities. That is just something I will never miss about Australia, because I love kind of the old and grown cities of Europe with the beautiful ancient architecture and all that. And to me, when I moved to Australia, like the big cities, they just seemed so massive and commercialized and soulless, and that's just not my thing. Number 7, dysfunctional public transport. Public transport, at least in Melbourne, and I think Sydney, from what I hear, is even worse, isn't working very well at all. Like, the trains and buses are way too infrequent. They barely ever come in and they're delayed half the time. And I know, like, at one point, like, it took me like to get from one point in the city to another, it took me like 2 hours, which is just crazy. I mean, we're still in the same city. It should not be 2 hours. Number 8, the massive distances between cities in Australia. So just Melbourne to Sydney is a 10-hour drive. It takes ages to get from A to B. It makes traveling around Australia so expensive, and also, unfortunately, there is not that much to see on the way. Number 9, having to watch the World Cup at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm German, I love football, or I think you call it soccer in Australia, I don't even know. But why does it have to be on at 3 o'clock in the morning? I mean, I get it, it's a time difference and it's not really Australia's fault at all. But I just hate it. I mean, I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch my team, support my country, and then get to work. Yikes. Number 10, it's incredibly expensive and it takes ages to get to any other country. As a European, I love to travel and I love to just hop from country to country, and in Australia that's just not possible. I think the 2 closest countries are New Zealand and Indonesia, and even then it takes ages to fly there. Like, I mean, it's a 3-hour flight, which is not too long, but I mean, in Europe you can drive for like 3 hours, and during that time you can pass through like 3 countries, so this is not the greatest. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye guys!